I arrived to this party very late, about 30 years later to be exact. I still got an invitation, I still showed up, and I still had an amazing time. And the party is before sunrise. Whew, wow. What a party to arrive to, the cult classic Before Sunrise. And that's what I'll be talking about today. So if you don't know my name's Sharon, and I love making videos about film and television. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. And let's get into it, and let's get into the topic of Before Sunrise. This movie is 30 years old, so happy 30th birthday in 2025. And I just saw this film a few weeks ago on a beautiful summer night. Well, it's actually not summer now, it's more like autumn here in Melbourne, Australia. And my gosh, this was a warm hug. This movie reminded me about why I love film again. It really was just, I went into it completely blind. I knew about it as a cult classic. I mean, I'd heard of it really. I knew of this film, but I'd never ever ventured into actually watching it. And I knew nothing about it at all. And my, what a pleasant surprise. And I would just love to talk about this today. I mean, it is 30 years old, so spoilers or whatever, like, I'm just going to be talking about it, okay? So if you are like me and you haven't seen it, like, and you don't want it to be spoiled, you can jump off this video. Respectfully find somewhere to watch it, and you can come back. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure that everything I'm gonna say here has probably been said 100,000 times. In fact, I've actually refrained from searching up any film breakdowns of this movie online at all. I just wanted to give my fresh perspective because it was one of those films that really stuck with me after I saw it. I've been thinking about it for weeks, and because I'd never seen it, I'd never ventured in looking at content around this movie. So this is completely fresh from my perspective, how I felt and just how it stuck out to me. I thought it was really beautiful. I've got some notes in my pad here, and just a very quick blurb about this film. It was made in 1995. I was 0 years old because I was not born, so there's also a reason why I was late to the party, guys. It was directed by Richard Linklater, starring Ethan Hawke as Jesse and Julie Delpy as Celine. As a reminder, for those of you who haven't seen it in a long time. So yeah, I think, you know, obviously, as we know, this is two people who meet on a train in Europe, on their way to their different respective destinations, and they decide to spend a whole day together. I think, oh my God, I just think it was so beautiful. And I think I have a few pointers here of what really stuck out to me in this film. But the words I really used was just firstly how raw and honest and simple this was. And I just feel like they don't be making them like this anymore. Like, I am a firm believer, you know, 90s and 2000s romance and rom-coms were just at their peak. We know that. And the rawness, the authenticity, and the simplicity in just showing humanity is kind of missing with the romance and the rom-coms of today. And there's just a humanity of it missing. And I think that film was just a nod to the era. That's how I felt. But about watching Before Sunrise, it was just a nod to just simple, beautiful filmmaking, just raw, honest, simple story without an agenda, without pushing any narrative. I think this film was about two individuals, two people, just bearing their honest truth without judgment in a safe space together. and the unfolding of their relationship was so beautiful to see. So I was thinking about how was this couple an avoidant couple? I feel like they're both definitely pointed to difficulty in like love and relationships. I mean, they both um Jesse and Celine did note that quite a bit, you know, that is their history. Like they've struggled in relationships, and they tell us a lot about their background. And I'm kind of like them embarking on this whirlwind magical love story over the course of a day as strangers, and going so deep with each other, knowing that they're not gonna be seeing each other anytime soon after that. I was kind of like, that might be a bit of like an avoidant thing where like they're both going to be, they're both unavailable. They were available for each other for one day, but with the depth of how deep their relationship went, with the level of availability, which is for one day, pre-phones, pre-FaceTime, I think that I wonder if they're both actually a bit avoidant in love and kind of fell for each other because of their emotional unavailability. They were emotionally available for each other in that moment, but their ultimate unavailability is what I wonder is what actually made the romance even more thrilling on the day that they spend together, knowing that, you know, it's painful that this really can't continue in real life, but also thrilling in a way, because yeah, that's what it's like when you may find yourself attracted to people who are unavailable in one way or the other. So that was something that I thought I thought about quite a bit at the end of this movie. And I think that one of my favorite parts of this, what underlaid the story, was how different they were from each other, but how much they complemented each other as a couple. You know, we get to see very much the kind of person that Celine is and how the person that Jesse was, and both their characters were so fleshed out because they got a chance to talk and to express themselves, but they got to express themselves within the safety of their relationship, and there was no judgment. You know, no one was, I mean, I think there was maybe a bit of fear of judgment, but ultimately this was such a safe space, and it was just so beautiful to watch it unfold. And for me, the next thing was, I was thinking about the magic of travel and how travel puts you in a completely different space of mind, and how when we go traveling, that is a beautiful, beautiful time to let go of a lot of conditioning or a lot of preconceived notions of how things should go. And you know, if you've done any travel yourself, you would know just how euphoric and ecstatic it can really be to be away from the chains of your old life, your old narrative, and your old conditioning. And I think this is why this worked so much with how this couple spent the day together. It was how they just let go. They completely let go of expectations. They let go of any narrative to follow, and they just enjoyed each other's company. This film was the epitome of two people being deeply present, and I think that's probably how we ought to live our lives daily in deep, deep presence and surrender to the moment. And that was so beautiful and refreshing, and so raw and so honest and so sweet. And I think what a lesson to learn from this amazing couple. And doing this, like, what a beautiful, beautiful lesson I think I took from this film. And I think I may make another video about, you know, speaking about this quality of travel in films. I think of movies like Eat, Pray, Love, and Vicky Cristina Barcelona, and all these movies where people travel. and go to different places and have an unraveling in that process. And I think that's what this film really showed. I loved how, again, it was a slow burn. I wrote down here it was a low dopamine film, you know. Just again, I think it was a practice in presence. It was a practice in presence and surrender and letting go of expectation. Because often when we're watching a film, there's a plot, you know, there's a climax, there's a, you know, there's a story that's being driven, there's development happening with character, there's a lot of different things going on that we expect normally from a traditional film. But I love that this film let all of that out of the window and was just showing two people being. And it really forces you to slow down and have little to no expectations and to be present, because Jesse and Celine were present, and this film forces you to truly be present and not in anticipation of, you know, what's going to happen next or whatever. And that could really translate beautiful into our everyday lives. I think ultimately for me, yeah, I think that's what I would actually bring this beautiful piece down to. It's the art of presence, the art of being mindful, the art of noticing, you know, each other and noticing ourselves, noticing, you know, your partner, and really being there with them without expectation of anything else. Of course, there's a time for everything, but I think there's a time that we need to have these mindful moments because they bring us back. They really bring us back in the present, because the only time that you have is actually now. And you know, we can only live right now where we are, not in the past, not in the future, but right now. And that's how I really felt about Before Sunrise. That is my 2 cents. I just wanted to put this out there. I would love any discourse or any comments that you could put down below the video. Feel free to pop them in. I know this is a trilogy. I have not seen the other 2 yet, so we'll park that and I will go and watch them, and yeah, I'll see how they go. Like, I am avoiding anything around it. Like, if I see anything about this movie, I'm avoiding it because I do not want anything to be spoiled. So I'm really looking forward to watching the next 2, and I hope that the next 2 are as magical as this one was for me. So yeah, that is Before Sunrise. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe, comment. I would love to get your feedback and to see if you're enjoying these videos, and yeah, to just support me on this journey as I talk about movies and connecting it to things that I've been thinking of. So thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.